Hi everybody, it's me Maria with Nail Nation on Facebook and Nail Nation 3000 here on YouTube, and I wanted to show you how to do this design here where we use the Flaky Effects polish here. We used some striping, we used a matte top coat as well as a gloss top coat and a image so what you're going to start with actually is a piece of tape. And the reason we want to use the tape is because we're trying to get a straight line, but we're doing it at the cuticle area. So you want to take it and kind of angle it off center across the nail diagonally like this, and you want to smooth it down. For this section of the nail here, the polish that I use for my base color is actually Model's Own Betty Blue. And it's just a really pretty true blue. And for this, since we're doing the effects polish, you really want to try to use a nice, rich, vibrant blue. You want to add a little dollop of the polish there, and then just gently pull it around to the edges of the cuticle and the sidewall. And then once you get that there, you can very easily just pull it up. You don't really have to worry about it getting on the rest of your nail. This will also create a much smoother line for you because the tape is keeping you from having to stop your brush stroke at that line, so you won't get a lump there. And what you want to do is just let this set for a moment. Don't let it dry or anything. Just a quick moment so that you don't pull the polish around. Pull it from the opposite side and then just gently pull it away like this. And then you're going to let this polish set. It doesn't have to dry. You just want to let it set. And for the purpose of, speeding it along for this, I'm using a little bit of a dry spray. Okay, so next what we're going to use is Motley by Finger Paints. And what Motley is very similar to this Flaky here, which is Shine of the Times, only it has a little bit of a blue tint to it. And you're just going to take a small amount and you want to put a blob, kind of like a little drop, just like this. And I'm going to show you the method to this. You just take it and gently pull it along all of your blue without actually going all over the rest of the nail. And then you just let that dry. The great thing about this is that once you get the hang of it, it gets super, super easy. Next, we're going to put a white stripe. And the white stripe, I just used, a regular Art Club white striper brush. And what you're going to do is you're just going to take a nice loose amount up against your blue. And it's okay if you go a little too wide on it. It's fine. That's going to get covered up with the black anyway. Just make sure that the line is nice and smooth and that there is plenty of white around the start and finish zones for your striping polish. So you don't want it to taper off and be streaky or dry there at the end. So it should look something like this now. So now in just a matter of moments, we have done our blue base for the corner and our white stripe and the flakies. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply the red background that we have here. And the reason we want to go ahead and apply that now is the black can go over it. It's not going to hurt anything. And when you're stamping, you don't really want to have to go back and double and make corrections. So you want to get the red on first. And what I used here is Come to Bed Red by Butter London, but really any true red will work just fine for this. And another thing is the reason you don't want to polish your whole nail red and go from there, or blue and go from there, is it's going to create too many layers, and also it's going to get a little tacky and gummy and difficult to dry. And also, it can change the color. If you have red under the blue and vice versa, it can change the tone of your polish. So now, the trick to this, without getting it all over your white, it's okay if it gets on the edge of your white a little bit. You just want to take it from your far edge and just gently pull it over, and then just gently drag it over, and use a looser based polish. The reason I use this Butter London is it's nice and thin, and you just want to apply kind of a single coat, but a little bit of a heavier single coat. And just like here, we got a little bit there, a little more of that white might show, so we just go right in and correct it now. And it does not need to be 2 coats. You just kind of liberally add that first coat, and we're going to let this dry completely. So I'm going to spray a little of the dry spray just to kind of get it started. Okay, so now that we've added our Blue Betty as our base, and our Motley Flakies as our highlight, and our White Stripe for an accent, and our Come to Bed Red as our base, we're going to let this dry completely before we stamp. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and apply 1 coat of a nice thick top coat. I use Seche V. And we're doing this for 2 reasons. 1, it's going to help everything set together, and 2, it's going to give us a nice smooth line. Even though we're going to add 1 more layer of top coat after we stamp, you want this to be a nice smooth form and really clean lines, so that when we put the black stripe and the matte top coat over it, you're not going to have any ridges or lines between your colors, because sometimes when you're layering colors this way, you get a little bit of a seam where they are, and that's another reason why you don't want to layer 3 or 4 coats of full coverage polish too, because then you'll start to have problems with it pulling and dragging when you're adding your accent pieces. So as soon as this dries completely, you're then going to take our RA105 plate, or whatever plate you're using that might be similar to this, and we're going to use a silver polish like this here to stamp this, and we're going to go at an angle. You're going to want a piece of gauze or very lint-free cotton with a little remover on it, because you want to clean this image every time you use it. You'll need your rubber stamp. And I just used this really pretty silver polish. It doesn't have a name. This it doesn't have a name for the color. It came from UK, but it looks very much like an Extreme has a silver like this as well, Celeb City, and also What a Drag by Color Club. They're almost identical. So you just want to take it and apply a nice thin but liberal amount, so that you're not wasting your polish, but also that it is enough to cover and sink into the image. You scrape across it gently. Roll and press your stamp, your rubber stamp, and it's going to come off like this. So then what you want to do is you want to take it and line it up to the corner and try to be just at the edge of the white, and you're just going to roll across. It just kind of fills in the corner there. So then you just want to wipe off your image plate and clean your scraper and rubber stamp, and then you're actually almost done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our black polish or black striping polish, whatever you may be using, and if you're using just regular black polish, of course you're going to want a striping brush like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to take it from a slight angle, and you're going to kind of fan it up like this. So you see how there's a little gap there? I did that so that you could see that. And you just want to take it and then go straight across. And if your line is just a little crooked or anything, that's no problem. It's just a guide. You just go back and straighten it out just like that. And here's where you take a little of your white out, just by running over it gently with the black. And you just want to make sure that it's filled in if there's no line between it. It's going to look like this. So now what you're going to want to do is let this set for just a moment so that you don't streak it. And you're going to add another coat of your top coat. Okay, so the next step is the final step, and what you're going to want to do is either take a small little palette like this one, or you can dip straight into your bottle with your striping brush. I'm using Chanel's Velvet Matte Top Coat, but Essie Matte About You, Hard Candy has a matte top coat. Whatever your favorite matte top coat is, that is fine, and that's what you should use. Doesn't have to be any specific one. Just remember, different ones have varying degrees of matte. So just pick the one that has the highest level of matte if you want it to have this effect. And it can be less matte if it's okay with you for it to be a little bit more gloss. So then you're just going to take it, and it's going to be like a little ball here at the end. And you're just going to run it up the line only on the black. And as you can see here, if you run it in a ball, you almost don't have to do much else with it other than just clean stroke. And try not to have too many strokes, because that leaves lines in the matte top coat. So as soon as that dries, it will look like these, and as you can see, there's no gloss there. There's gloss everywhere on the nail, and it will look like this. So hopefully you enjoyed that. It's a simple concept, really easy idea. You can change it up. You can put dots in there. You can use other stamps here. You can change the color up. Just thought it was kind of a fun idea to share. And if any of you have any variations of this, or even are trying this exact design, you know, feel free to post your videos as video responses, because I absolutely love those. They're a whole lot of fun. And hopefully this is easy. It's one of those that doesn't really require a whole lot of handiwork. You can really just kind of do your striping, do your polish, and your stamp. And that is... again, Red Angel 105 is the one that I used specifically for this, but any stamp that's in a full coverage pattern works. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.